grab your phone real quick. Do me a favor. I want you to go to my Instagram page and look how many of those quote unquote scam likely gurus, internet darlings are following me, but you've never heard them acknowledge me.
Using all your talking points, though, right?
Oh, they love using my talking points because just like white people love to put R&B singers like Sam Smith in the place of a tank, you love my rhythm, but you hate my blues, right? Because see, everybody's Billy Badass until Billy Badass shows up. And when I come in talking about, that's not going to work long term, or you have to do it this way, or I think my idea is better. I literally have people pay me $50,000 to fight me about what's going to work when what they had wasn't working in the first place. So because this culture is telling them that entrepreneurship is a microwave, me coming with a crock pot and some old cast iron skillets is not good. I am not here to give you air fryer fried chicken. I don't do that. I'm Kwame Brown, bitch. It's mama's cooking. And mama's cooking take time. But you don't want that because you want it in the microwave because they told you to run the play. Going over here and talk to Chuck because Chuck's got the hook up there and we can go over the Navy Fed. You can run the play. You tell him I said it and also tell him that you make $275,000 but you have nothing to show for that. And then the other part of that is I, as a human being, I make $15,000 a year, actually closer to 14.5. My companies do well. I don't make a whole lot of money. Like I make like residuals from books and things of that nature. So like if you see me with something fancy on like $1,500 sneakers, the company owns these. I don't, because my closet is real plain. My regular closet is Target. It's Walmart. It ain't none of that. So what are we promoting? Are we promoting a lifestyle because you want to sit up here and be like, I spent $2,000 on this just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this? Or are we teaching people things that are practical? And you can tell people things that you saw on CNBC last night and then regurgitated on your YouTube channel like you're some kind of bear market, bull market investment expert.
Dave ain't playing with y'all.
Or you can actually realize that it takes work. And if I told you you'd get there in 3 weeks, I'm lying to you. And I don't do that. The thing of it is, it took me subtract it.
Carry the one.
35 years to sit in this seat. 35 years and $375,000 of my own money to get here. Meaning to build these businesses, to write these books, to give these speeches, to grow these businesses, to scale these businesses. And do me a favor, all these damn gurus out here, who they clients?
Client reviews too.
Huh?
Client reviews.
Where they at though?
Show those. Yeah.
Where they at though?
Yeah.
Every time I like you got people playing on emotions. Like, why are you calling it Black Wall Street? Because that's going to pull at black people's heartstrings. Even if you don't know what that is as a black person, something in your DNA does. Something in your mitochondrial DNA knows what that is. And so it resonates. And so you start playing on those heartstrings.
And that trauma too.
So everything you're doing is from, I want to be on, and the hope that this trauma response of, I don't want to work no more for nobody, is keeping these people paid. And then when you say this, then it's, well, you're a hater. See, let me break something down to you. How can I hate on things I don't want? I don't want your attention. I don't need it. I have intention. I don't want your money. It's not enough. What do you have that would benefit me? Because I'm not addicted to the drug that 95% of black people online are addicted to, and that's clout. I don't need your clout. I can walk into any room in any corporation and still be called the one thing that you've been begging to be called, Mr. Sir. I am so happy you are here. I can't figure this out. What problems have they solved? So I'm begging somebody, anybody in this room, tell me what problems they've solved. Other than the problems of parting suckers from their money.
A crackhead has to stay a crackhead. That's how you stay as the dope man.
See, that's the coach's carousel.
Yeah.
So for example, like when it comes to my digital university, which is a part of all of my coaching programs, so no matter which level you're on, if somebody wants to learn about AI, right? Now, if you go back in 2019, I launched something called Bully AI, and all you Negroes told me I was crazy, but now it's the rave because white people told you about it. Ain't nobody want to do some artificial clone of yourself. Who gonna buy that shit? Now look at you Negroes. Now look at you. Because the white man told you it was cool, so now y'all want to be on it.
Wow.
But if you want to learn about AI, We'll create a module for AI. I constantly ask my clients, what is it that you want to learn? Right? Now, and then I'm going to let you ask your next question,
Dave,
bro.
hey, we chilling. You
Yeah.
good. You good.
Now, I tell people, and this is full disclosure, because I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I have made mistakes. I've gotten things wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that my record is completely stellar, but my record's better than 99% of these individuals. And I will tell you that the last time you saw me, I was wearing a 6X shirt. I had a 72-inch waist.
Yeah.
I was 561
2019?
pounds. 2019?
I was an intern. Yeah. That was 2019. Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. Now
Yeah.
look at you and got all sexy and whatnot.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
One step at a time,
Listen,
man. It's not easy.
It's not easy, but here's the thing. How do you lose 312 pounds if not for consistency, effort, dedication, and discipline? The answer is you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But they're telling people you can build a business without consistency, effort, dedication. Do you see? Like, that's the scam. The scam is you don't want to work for it. Mm-hmm. They're telling you you don't have to work for it. Mm-hmm. So P.T. Barnum said there's a sucker born every minute. Mm. You looking like a lollipop. Mm. Congratulations. You getting licked. You like that because you want to hit a lick anyway. You want to run the play anyway. You want to wear your satin pajamas. You love that. Yeah. And then all I got to do is throw up a nice little dashiki and tell you I'm going to open a Hotep Hogwarts. And for 14 years.
Hotep Hogwarts is crazy.
And for 14 years,
wow.
All we've seen from this is a trap bando and a whole lot of paint. I'm sorry, as an educator, son of educators, stepson of educator, grandson of educators, nephew of educators, college professor myself, I don't understand how that works. Unless, and again, I've given Umar the benefit of the doubt that maybe he just doesn't have the wherewithal to realize he's in over his head and he doesn't need to do it himself, right? But you say black people don't want to work for free, this, that, and the third, but you paid the white people to put in the HVAC. You paid the white people to do this. You paid the white people to do that because you couldn't find nobody, but you so pro-black. Which is it, homeboy? Right? The other part of that is, and in 2010, if I'm lying, I'm dying, he put up a post and said this school was going to be for boys. It's going to open in 2013, and you're going to have to pay tuition to get there. I don't know about you. Did you go to college, Caleb? I believe you did. Yeah. When you went to college, you had to do an exam, right? You had to do like an application, and in that application, it had an application fee, which was non-refundable, whether you got into the college or not.
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
right? So whether you get into college or not, if people want to have one of these coveted spots in this Derek Zoolander, chakras, Hotep, Pan-African, Wayspeed University of boys who want to learn Hotepism and learn to read and do other good stuff too, then why wouldn't you take some type of application fee? Why wouldn't you take some type of deposit? Whereas though these little boys could actually go ahead. There's a kid outside of here named King Randall.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I love him, bro.
King Randall is, number one, he's conservative. They don't like that because you Negroes are so afraid to not vote something other than your interest because y'all love Master Joe. Yeah. But King Randall was probably 5, maybe 6 years old, maybe 7, 8. But somewhere between 5 and 8 when Umar made that initial announcement in 2010. He's
that young, huh?
This kid is younger than my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter's 24 going on 25. He's got to be 23, 24.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, he's young.
He was older, man.
No.
Probably
because he carries himself.
Yeah, and he carries himself
like a man.
Too.
He's teaching actual skills.
Yeah.
And he's going into his own pockets and taking the donations and putting them back in the kids.
Yep.
I hit him up and he was like, yo, you got books? Send me some. No problem, bro. Right? Oh, listen, I would love to do your show. Do you mind giving me a donation? I wrote that check so quick it make your head swim.
Yep. Here in Georgia.
Yep, I can see tangible results of what he's done. Yeah. So what you're telling me is you're a person with at least 5 degrees. You have traveled all over the world. You're the world's greatest, most requested scholar. I have yet to see this list of requested scholars and requested speakers because if you're the only one on the list, of course you're number one. How do you even gauge that? But how is it that a Gen Z snot-nosed kid from rural Georgia.
Yeah, he's not from Atlanta.
Because he's not from Atlanta. Where that girl's at? Not Atlanta.
Yeah, hey, that's what people don't know. Like, Atlanta's just one small part of Georgia,
it's
bro.
one small part.
Yeah.
He's not from Atlanta. He's from rural Georgia.
Yeah,
he's from the sticks.
Yeah.
He pulled this off on some Tony Stark box of scraps type of situation.
Yeah.
But you so educated, you know the system, you know the IEPs, and you know the special ed system, and you know what the little boys need. But for a decade and a half, you have yet to deliver this school, and everybody just lets you ride off in the sunset because you talk real good and you're the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I'm sorry, was Malcolm X the Baron of bow ties? Was Marcus Garvey the general of black greatness? Was Martin Luther King the preacher of pacificity? No. Their name was enough. And you don't have that difficult of a name. For example, there are 17 people named Dave Anderson who do what I do.
Yeah.
17. Yep. That's the only reason there's a business bully, because of Google.
Yep.
Not because I need a moniker because I'm a rapper. So like, what are we doing? Because we got time to ask Jill Scott if he can clap her cheeks. We got time to try and reform and rehabilitate Sukiyana, Suki with the good coochie, and she said, "All I want to do is meet Dr. Umar, and then Dr. Umar can he can teach me some things, this, that, and the third." And then right after you took that picture with Dr. Umar, you were off in the UK talking about you want to get your pussy stretched. I guess that Hotep teaching just didn't stick, huh, Umar? But we're supposed to be about business before the buckshots. How about we spend a little less time on our Instagram worrying about if Christian Keys is doing something with Tyler Perry or what's happening with Taraji or who's doing this, and focus on, I don't know, maybe opening the school you collected allegedly $2 million from. I mean, results. Because if you could give me a date that does not involve a block party, that does not involve telling me that it's coming, because Linus still believes the Great Pumpkin is going to come in the Great Pumpkin Patch, but Charlie Brown is telling him it ain't going to work. I'm trying to understand. Like, how do we let these folks go like it's okay? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't get that. Like, are you looking for representation that bad because you're not able to be conscious at your job because your job is controlled by white people? So you want a brother in a dashiki to sit up there and hotep and wear his hair a certain way because that's a catharsis for you. It's a release of pent up emotion. And so that's why you support him. And before you say, well, why didn't you donate to the school? I donate all the time. Because just like I vote, I know the vote ain't shit. I know the vote really don't count. I know if every single American sat at home, they would still elect a president because we do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. And to the republic for which it stands, you numb nuts, how do you not realize that you've never been in a democracy? The founding fathers told you they never wanted a democracy because in a democracy, the majority rules. If the majority rules, the first thing they're going to do is get their rich, white, elite asses out of position.
All the aristocrats, Yeah.
How do you think that your democracy is dying when your democracy never got born? You live in a constitutional republic. There's no such thing as democracy. Yeah. But, you know, let's not let a little thing like facts get in the way of our feelings here.
Come on, Dave. Hey, we about to cook, bro. So trauma marketing, right?
Yes, sir.
So on that point about Black Wall Street, I would get so pissed because I'm like, okay, these people talk about this, right? These same entrepreneurs, but you live in Atlanta and you don't talk about Auburn Avenue, which was happening before that.
Correct.
Had a race massacre, which happened before that.
Yes.
Alonzo Herndon, talking about one of the first black millionaires ever. Yeah. But we're not talking about those things, right? Why is it important? Because Dave, hearing you speak, to know about our history, not only just business, because I think that, we could talk about business and money, but if you don't have a black mind, bro, that means absolutely nothing.
Right. So you have black people who are programmed and controlled by white people. And they're put in positions. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about Stormy Wellington for a minute.
Sheesh.
And again, I've never met the young lady. I'm sure she's lovely. I guess. I don't know. What I do know is that she is the white face of a black company that does not have one black person in the position of ownership. You are a glorified employee. And then you run around with your little chain talking about 1,000 families. You need 1,000 families in order to make sure your downline is what it is. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Why did they cancel your reality show before it ever aired? What happened there? Why are you so impressed with Grant Cardone, who literally said that he wants permission from one of you Negroes to say the N-word because that would be the stamp. That's the thing he wants.
You were talking about Grant 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, nobody wanted to listen.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to listen. How many lawsuits has Grant had? How many people has Grant screwed over? See, he's already screwed over all the white people he can, so now he's come to the Negroes. And because he knows most Negroes won't pay attention because they love white adjacency more than they love their black dignity, he went and got Steve Harvey and Magic Johnson, and he got Kevin Hart, and he went and got the Earn Your Leisure guys and a bunch of other guys. And I don't know if they know Grant's history, but I do. And I can't sit idly by. Now, keep in mind, I do business with everyone. I am black first. My company culture is black first. Even the white people, even the Asian people work for me, understand them. This is a black-owned company, and I do not apologize for that, right? Any of my subsidiaries are all black-owned companies. You ain't got to like it. It's not black people and fuck everybody else. It is black people first. I'm going to look for the best black people for the job first. And if I can't find anything through all of my networks and resources, then I'll open it up to other people. So if you're a white person in my company, you got there because you were fucking stellar.
You had to earn that one.
You had to earn that shit. And you got to deal with the fact that there are some things, right, that happen in this country because a handful of your brethren choose to be disrespectful and choose to believe they have a certain privilege or some type of power over me. I don't believe in supremacy because ain't no white man supreme over me. Only thing supreme over me is God himself. And last I checked, he was black. Because how did Jesus cross over into Egypt? Because before they started messing with the seas, you do realize that you could walk to Egypt.
Yes, sir. Come on.
So if you could walk to Egypt,
lies.
Right? And everywhere you go in Egypt, show me any hieroglyphs that have white people. I'll wait.
Where the nose is blown off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Napoleon was a big fan of Egyptian strategy. And then when he saw that there was some big, wide Negro nose, Jonathan Majors level, white man, Patti LaBelle before the nose surgery, no diss to Miss Patti. Yeah. But I'm saying Miss Patti had an African nose, you know, big old soup cooler lips like mine. He was like, oh, vive la France. Poof. Until you understand who you are, you will not understand whose you are. And so what you're doing is an amalgamation of a bastardization of C.J. Walker's dream. Excuse me, Madam C.J. Walker's dream.
Yes.
Because there's no Mary Kay.
That's right. That's right.
There's no 5 links.
Multi-level marketing.
There's no pyramids. There's no Avon lady. There is none of that without Madam C.J. Walker's blueprint first. So now you are in bed with this white man who is running TLC, Total Life Changers, and giving everybody this, you know, diarrhea tea and all these products and the NutriBurst, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 skibbity bop. And you're giving them fractions of what they could make, because I can go to any supplier in any major country in the world and get those same things, because none of that shit's proprietary, and sell it to you. But as opposed to being a business owner and taking 1,000 black women with you, you're taking 1,000 black women into a white economy, and everybody in his company that has any position of power is either white or brown, because they're in different parts of the world where they only talk to brown people. Explain how that works. I can't get with it, but of course you're so happy to be with Grant and Elena and sit there and run the play that you're okay with that. That to me is exploitative. It's kind of like when you become the top Negro on the plantation, when you become the overseer. You happy to get on that horse. You look real good on that horse, huh, Django? So you can whip these other regular niggas and shit. Look at me. Then you go tell them about fitness, but you had like 4 or 5 surgeries. You had 4 or 5 surgeries. Not a surgery to save your life, a surgery so that you could look better in what you think an aesthetic is that they continue to push at you, when you realize the majority of plastic surgeons in this country are not black. So whose agenda are you pushing? And the last thing we need is a bunch of agents putting agency into our people disguised as entrepreneurship and freedom, when really what you're doing is you're a glorified sharecropper.